I said it that way because I don't want it to be like really forward. Like it's not an interview.
Yeah.
You just enjoy, like.
Yeah.
Say how you want to say it. You don't got to give me the politically.
How do I go?
Yeah. So just let me go. The mine. Then you'll see it pop up. That one, and then you'll see it pop up, and then just.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't want no politically correct answer to nothing.
Yeah.
Like unless you guys have sponsors and shit that are gonna tell you something.
Well,
Then don't worry.
Gatorade is coming out with the new flavor. Yeah.
And yeah, and you can plug in the gym. I know your ass doesn't do privates.
Yeah.
I don't know, you do, so you can tell people.
Like slinging fitness all day.
He hates it. Like, he does not do privates.
Oh, really?
That's where the money at. I literally just committed to privates here.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Wow.
I don't know why. I don't know. I got burned out of teaching too, like classes.
Yeah.
And, like,
How long were you teaching? You were doing it Undisputed though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing it. I don't know, a couple years. A couple years of it, and then I was like, eh.
Shit.
You know what's the most
work out
frustrating
myself.
is kids classes.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine teaching kids
I done
classes.
killed some people.
Oh my God.
All right, Julio, let's go. Hit live, and then we'll just see it pop up. So I just keep my phone here, and then you'll see people say stuff. They'll pop up in a bit. Yeah, so.
Why do I have to sit down?
You're gonna just be on me? That's crazy.
Not all day. So let's start.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll go live. It has a delay. So I already know this. So it's live, and I'm gonna put share. And let's go. We're live now. So this is episode 2. I got my boy Nick Barnes. By the way, the camera's that little thing up there.
I was like, where am I looking?
So, and Christina Marks, we're gonna talk about a bunch of stuff. Whatever happens, happens. And then I just open it, and then you'll see questions. See, that'll let you turn it down.
Okay.
And then you open it, and you'll see people leaving comments, and it gets pretty funny.
What?
It gets pretty funny with the comments. People
Oh,
start asking random stuff.
That's me right there.
Like Nick Barnes looking beat. The gray.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about MMA, I guess. I mean, the male version and the female version of it, because there's, I'm sure, a completely different story to both sides. Because it is in boxing. In boxing is the same thing.
Yeah.
It's very different, money-wise, promotion-wise. Who wants to sign you? Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Management, does it work the same? You know, we'll just get into all that. I mean, we can start off. Any fights coming up for either?
I don't have a fight lined up like I was explaining to you.
Yeah.
It's just kind of hard right now. Pay and the time frame, and they want to give me 2 weeks. I'm like, I walk around 150.
Are you finding a lot like, are you getting like a lot of last minute? Like,
I get more recently since my last win. Now I'm getting like last minute, and I feel like they want to ask me, but I feel like they think that if they give me like a full fight camp, that's a no. But I dropped 25 pounds for fights.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna. And if I asked for like my last fight, I was like, let me just do a catch weight at 130, and they're like, we want 125. I'm like, well, that's not gonna happen in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it could, but do I really want to do that?
Yeah.
Nah. How much are you gonna pay me? No.
It makes it rough.
Yeah.
Because I'll see stuff like this, you know, the honey
Yeah.
buns. Thank you.
Julio.
I'll see stuff like this, and it's all like, I really want to eat it, but because a lot of the fights lately have been just last minute,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, you have to either like, oh, I can't enjoy myself, or I have to like, you know, I have to like work on a diet constantly, so I have to always be ready for a fight.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass. I love honey buns, you know?
I know.
Well, you would assume that the last minute they would offer a little bit more money, right? Like just to get an incentive,
Right?
They
Yeah.
really don't. It's like a slap in the face even after.
I know.
It's like we're not gonna give you the time, and here's $100.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, why would you do that? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the promoters and a lot of the stuff, some of them never been boxers, fighters, and they don't understand the sacrifice that most of you guys gotta do. Like, you know, I fought boxing, but back in I haven't fought in 7 years, and I mean, if I did come back, I'd be a motherfucking heavyweight.
Yeah.
Because I like to eat. So I'm gonna eat. I'm not cutting no weight. But a lot of you guys that are very committed to fitness, and it's how some of us make a living. You know, you work at the UFC gym in Mission Valley.
Mission Valley.
Mission Valley. You're at Undisputed in downtown.
Yeah.
So a lot of shit has to do with looking the part.
Yeah.
Looking the part. If you're not looking the part to sell the fitness, a lot of people don't believe you're
Oh,
that.
yeah. Like, you're going to...
I just said it as like, I'm an old coach. The belly is to put your hand when I'm lacing the glove. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I do it for. Like, I have a thing that when I teach or I try to get privates, I always believe, and you know, when we work together, is I get in the ring and show my students. I don't hurt them, but I show them. Right. This is why I'm a coach. I will let anybody know why I'm a coach. Anybody that don't believe it, I have a gym, and if you have a gym, I have gear. You know, I get in there with anybody.
Yeah.
But we have to sell still. It has to. Not everybody wants to be a fighter, and they don't get that. So if they want you to fight in 2 weeks, you have to get out of the work.
Yeah, and if
there's
not,
no more pay. There's no more. You know, there's no more classes. So we have to leave for 3 days, 4 days for the press conference and whatever other nonsense they have. And then traveling, like you said, you only pay for one coach.
I'm like, but I'm MMA. Can I at least have 2 coaches? Can I have a ground guy and a stand-up guy? Yeah.
It's like, what do I choose?
I think that in boxing, we have the luxury to get, one coach because you really don't need more.
Right.
You know, I could do the water, I could do the things. But even now, when my fighter's going to fight, I tell him, no, get another flight. One, because I'm terrified of flying.
Are you
I'm
really?
like, dude, at a whole nother level of fear, dude, like, terrified.
What's the last time you've been on a plane?
I went with Bolivia.
Were you hyperventilating with the
They
bag?
sent us to Houston in or San Antonio in the smallest plane in the world.
Yeah.
That fucking thing.
Turbulence?
Dude, I was just like, we're gonna die. Like,
freaking out.
We're gonna die. And Brandy's like, it's normal. And there's an asshole next to me like, it's not normal. And I'm like, it's not normal. And she's like, it's normal. Relax. Like, I panic. Like, I get to the fight, tired. I'm like stiff on the plane, like we're gonna die. And then the 2 assholes that I go with are sitting there fucking making fun of me, Bolivita.
Oh, I bet.
Fucking pounding me, like just on me. But so Bolivita, every fighter's tough as shit. Everybody thinks we're tough, but we all have our fear. There's a little thing that nobody likes.
Yeah.
So we go to the eye exam, and I'm sitting there looking at him, and he's like fucking sweating. I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, I don't want to be here. I was like, dude, it's an eye doctor. They're not going to do nothing to you. Terrified.
Yeah.
Terrified. I was like, you're going to make fun of me being at least I could die in the fucking plane.
Well, that's just intimidating. I hate the part where they make you put your head in.
They do that air.
You're like, don't blink. I was like, I can't, I freak out. Every time, we're always going to redo it. I never do it first, I never do it when it's done. I always say,
like, to me, that never freaks me out.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's just...
I don't like getting my blood drawn. Which is crazy because I have so many tattoos.
Yeah.
I always feel like it's going to break.
I tell them, and they compare it to that. I was like, it doesn't feel the same.
No, yeah. Because they always make fun of me, like doctors are like, oh, come on. I'm like, no, because I feel like a scratch. Tattoos feel like you're getting scratched.
You want to hear the worst?
Like I could see you digging around in there.
So I was getting my blood work down here. It was a short-term, notice fight. And I go to this one place, and they told me, yeah, go over there. And they're doing everything, and I'm like, I really need this. If this is good, I need it to be sent. They're like, yeah, you're good. I'm like, okay. He takes the blood, and they call me 10 minutes later. They're like, you actually came to the wrong, what is it like? What are where you go get your blood done? There's 2 different spots that you can go to. And they're like, you came to the wrong spot. You need to go somewhere else. I'm like, you didn't remember that after you took out the blood? After I'm sweating bullets, I'm here freaking out. So I had to go somewhere else. They take the same amount.
And do it again? Yeah.
And I was cutting weight at that time. I'm this is fabulous.
You're just in your car driving to the next spot.
Yeah, but see, a lot of people don't know these parts. See, when people get on fucking Facebook, Twitter, and call people bitches and call people because the fight didn't go the way. They don't know the entire sacrifice.
Yeah, those are the worst when they're like,
body,
this is a boring fight. I'm like, do you know what's going on?
And it's like, come on, man, you're going to call somebody a bitch. You're going to call somebody this. And you're just sitting on your fucking couch. Never been punched in the face before. Yeah. But you call them a quitter, a bitch, and you've never even been hit. You don't know what that man's mindset was. You don't know what his weight cut was. So when Bolin lost his first fight, he fought on HBO. Yeah. So now there's lights. It's HBO. Michael Buffer saying his name.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And people are like, "Oh, this happened." I was like, "Yeah, but see, what they don't know behind the scene, he passed out." From cutting weight. He fainted the day before the weigh-in. He fainted. because the stupid nutritionist he had before made him drink Ensure for a week.
Yeah.
Ensure for a week. And I was like, what? So people don't see that. You know, people don't see why, you know, the lights can affect you. Anything, when you ain't been in a big show, and then you see the crowd, and he was the co-main. So he's the co-main. So now he's not there when it's empty. He's there when the entire fucking stadium is packed.
And not only that, like when you're like co-main or like main, it's all like
the weight.
The wait is the longest, and everyone thinks it's cool to be that like towards the end. But I'm like, sometimes I want to be first. Get this over with.
Get it over with.
The worst one was I fought at what was it, Ontario over there. And they put you, was main event, they put you in a separate room. And I'm like, I'm like delirious, and I'm literally like dancing, doing the worm on the ground or something, and then I'm getting tired, and by the time I get out there, I'm like, okay, let's go. Like, you're just secluded, and I don't even like that.
Yeah, same here when the last RFA fight I was in, I was the main. And same exact thing. Like I'm walking in, like, you know, hey, where's Biden? And then like, oh, you're all the way back there, dude.
You don't need to interact with anyone. You're just looking at walls at your coaches.
And as the point of view as a coach, like I get as nervous as everybody.
Oh, exactly.
Man, I'm sitting there pacing because I have to make sure you're comfortable. And you're comfortable, and then I have to. I do my own hand wraps. I don't hire a person to wrap hands. So I do my own stuff. I don't do none of that. So. When I'm wrapping hands, that's when I zone out. That's when I'm ready for. Like I'm nervous until I start wrapping hands.
Oh yeah.
When do you guys hit that? You know the zone I'm talking about. When you get in, I'm ready. Like it's go time. Is it more further down the line than me? Like I feel like when I wrap his hands, it's time for me to go. Like I know that he's focused. I gotta show the most relaxed I could be. So I'm very calm. Now I'm wrapping his hands, and I want him to feel the security when I'm doing his hand. You know, and now he feels okay. My coach is good. He's confident. We're going. So when do you guys?
Well, I have now 17 like pro fights under my belt. So now, as it takes a little while, I'm literally just looking around until I start walking down to the cage. That's when I get those butterflies. I'm like, all right, here we go. But before that,
it's just calm.
I take a nap before that. I take naps. I just chill. And like my last coach, you know, John X, he has a strength and conditioning, Ashley. That was her first time being with me in that fight camp, my last fight. And she was like, I didn't know what to do. She was like, you're just literally cracking jokes and like dancing the whole time. She was like, I don't know if she's delirious or what's going on. But as soon as I step in there, it's just another side of me.
That's awesome.
Like when I was fighting, and not only did amateur, I never turned pro. I just did a lot of amateur here, Mexico, all over the place. I would wish sometimes that the lights would go out or that like something happened. I didn't want to fight. I'd be like, fuck, I don't want to fight.
That happened to me once for Bama. In the middle, I was fighting, and all of a sudden, we're in the clinch, and the lights, I'm like, did she just hit me? I don't know what's happening. I'm like, I could have sworn I was in the clinch right here. And then all of a sudden, they're like, fighters don't move. And then they came back on. I was like, what just happened?
That's so sketchy.
I'm like, I could have sworn. I was like, did I get knocked out?
Get a little razor blade, a little cut over the eyebrows.
Yeah, man. But once they hit me, like the button hit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I guess I'm really 100% Mexican because I have to get hit to warm up. Like, once I feel you hit me and I felt like, okay, it's go time. But, like, I feel even when I spar, like, if someone's not hitting me, I'm very defensive. Like, even my style, I'm very defensive. I'm mobile. I'm not an exchange type of fighter anymore. So, like, I feel like once I get hit, like, wow, like, it wakes you up. It's like, okay, I'm ready to go, man, because... What about you? So
for me, so you're awesome. I can't. I don't know. I from the moment I wake up, when I wake up, I have a lot of nervous energy. I'm not like freaking out yet or nothing like that. But I'm like, okay, it's game day. Like you know, like I'm anxious and I want to get to the point where I'm like, okay, we're gonna mix it up. And so for me, it's like the whole day is just me trying to working myself up and then just calming myself down, and working myself up and calming myself down. And then I would say. You know, I get to the venue, I start getting a little bit nervous, but then it also depends on the venue too. Like the first time I fought for Bellator was amazing. Like, I was super nervous the whole day, but then when I walked in, I was like, oh, like you get excited, you know, and then you see the announcers and they're all talking to you and they're all firing you up, you know. So that it also depends on the show, but I would say I'm mostly nervous when I have to sit down. So that's good that you want to be like, okay, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
When you're wrapping hands, because when I pace it all day, just pacing around, you know. So I hate having to sit down. So that's my most like freaked out moment. Like, come on, like let's go, let's do this. So that's good. So I'd say right when I get my hands wrapped and then walking out, I'm definitely like, all right. There's times the first time I fought a guy where it was his hometown. The first time I had to deal with like the crowd like booing you and shit, you know. So like I go in the cage and like boo, like call my name, and then they call his name and they're all like going crazy, and I'm like, oh fuck, like
that happened to me when I fought in Mexico, like, and I'm like, but wait, I'm Mexican too, like, I'm like, wait, they're like, oh, I'm like, all right,
and Mexicans don't get along.
I know,
if that guy could suck. I'm dead ass serious. That guy could be the worst fighter, and they could know that's the worst fighter in the world. But the fact that he's fighting another culture, they are gonna go for the Mexican.
I bet.
I've gotten shit because I tell people like, no, I go based on my IQ, what I know. Like, I am Mexican, but I'm not gonna go for the Mexican like all the time. Like, if I know you fucking suck,
just cause.
I'm a Floyd fan, so I get shit from Mexican friends, other trainers, and even my style. Even when I fought, the first time I lost, I came out and the Mexican coach came up to me and he's all, you fight like a black guy. Yeah. That's why you lost. But not in those nice words. Yeah. But because I don't fight, like I don't sit there and just fucking exchange. Yeah. And I was like, well, look at my fucking corner, dumbass. Like, my coach is from Philly. He's black. I'm gonna fight. Like, I'm gonna fight just because and that's the thing. A lot of cultures are very, like, that's why Conor's so popular. Yeah. Because he has a whole country. See, if Mexico was more involved in MMA, and they found a fighter that can fight, that motherfucker would sell like crazy. Yeah. But it still hasn't transitioned as much as people want it to.
Yeah, I can believe that. Especially like with the smaller countries, you know, like when Ireland, like you don't hear too many people like you had the Irish hand grenade, you know, back then, but like they didn't really have too many like up there fighters. Yeah. So when McGregor hits like when he hit, it's like whoa, like you know.
That's what happened with Manny. Yeah. I mean, the Philippines is small. Right. They don't really have and he just came fucking just smashing everybody. Right. Like just fucking walking through people. I mean, I still think it's questionable. Yeah. Because you're a fighter. You're a fighter. If a lower weight class from like 3 weight class came down, all of a sudden came up, and he's walking you down. Yeah. He's physically, you would think something's right. Yeah. Like, no, come on, dude. Like I train hard too. Right. I'm a top dude. Like so, if you're top and he just comes up 3-4 weight and just manhandles you. Yeah. Like just slamming you and your base is wrestling and he's just fucking just slam. You would think something was wrong. Yeah. You would be like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah. I mean, where I found it sketchy for Manny was when he fought Cotto. Dude, he fucking just walked Cotto down like Mike Tyson. Yeah. And Cotto's a strong fucking welterweight. I mean, he went up to middleweight and was knocking out. Yeah, he looked big, So when you're just walking some dude, like just walking, but then you can't do that to Marquez. You can't do it to... I feel Marquez even the odds in that last fight because Marquez looked ginormous. Yeah. Like, he's never looked that big. I've seen him in person. I've trained in the same gym. And that motherfucker looked big. Like, just muscular big. And I felt that's where he evened that up. Like, hey, well, we're gonna do it that way. So, but in MMA, they test you guys a lot more than they do us, right? In boxing, is it more or like depends on the level of the show?
My last ones we do the blood work, and then randomly they'll say, okay, you have to do a P1 right like the day of fight, and that's just random. Okay. Yeah.
They say kind of too, but sometimes they're all like. Guy walking in, you're like, hey, we got a random search button. You're
the random, kind of like me in airports.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I am the random search on airports. Time, dude. Yeah. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. Well, we have a joke right there because my grandfather has Syrian in him, so I'm the terrorist mechanic. I could fix the shit and then blow them up. That's what I am. Hey, well. But yeah, I'm the random search. Yeah. All the time. So yeah, I mean, visually, there's people that can't get like that without it, right? Like, just rip as fuck like that?
Totally. Yeah, I think so. I believe it just takes more work, you know? But...
Do you feel that skill enough to get you through a fight? Would you believe like, okay, my skill's good enough, or I don't have to train this hard? Like my skill's legit.
In my head, no. I think I'm one of those. Sometimes when I'm in fight camp, my coach is like, "All right, now you go home because if not, you leave me by myself." I feel like the person is training harder than me,
Oh, totally.
so I'm training constantly, and actually kind of like makes it worse because I'm in fight. I'm on weight cut, and I'm just exhausted. But it's just in my head. I'm like, they're training harder than me. I gotta do more.
That's one of the biggest insecurities leading up to a fight. I could train the best camp ever, and once I get to the fight, in my head I'm still like, I don't think I did enough. Like I called it early, and I'll call it back.
That is the problem with fighters, because I have Jolene Blackshear. She's a 2-time world champion. So I've trained her in her second phase of her career. She retired 10 years and then came back to boxing.
Yeah.
I think she's 46 now, and won her last title 3 years ago. Well, in different divisions. We would have to tell her to calm down. Like, dude, you're overtraining. Like, you need to relax. Like, but that is a fighter's mindset.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
You know,
and I mean, I think it's definitely good to have that, you know, because you could be the opposite.
My
I got it.
That was my goal, because before I was undefeated, and I was like, it's another dude I'm gonna beat.
Yeah.
I forgot I need to train for.
Yeah.
And he just outworked me. Like, he wasn't better than me.
Yeah.
Like the first round, I picked him apart.
Yeah.
But he just continued, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I'd drop him and get up like the Undertaker.
Yeah.
And then that mentally fucked with me. Like, oh shit, I'm not hurting him. And then he didn't even hit my face. He was just hitting me wherever. He was just hitting me, and I'm like, fuck, he's not getting tired. Why am I getting so tired? Like, and that's when I learned, like, fuck, okay, well, I learned from my mistake. I'm not gonna let my fighter do the same thing, because I feel like when
takes you
get spoiled, because when you haven't lost or you haven't felt that thing in your mind, you're like, well, you know.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I thought it was hot shit before my first loss, you know. Yeah. And fuck it. And my first loss was a knockout, so it's definitely it was an eye closure, then an eye opener when I woke up, you know.
but I mean, I'm very I'm borderline cocky. You heard me. Because I really believe in my skill. I'll tell anybody. Like, even when I'm out, like, if I don't fucking train, I'll be like, anybody, fuck it. Yeah. I'll get in the ring with whoever. But I believe in my skills. Yeah. But I train, the type of coach I am, I'm very focused on skill. I would need to hire a strength and conditioning coach or something like that, because I focus primarily on skill. Yeah. Like angles and this and game plan, and I'm always focused on how can I break an opponent down. Like, I'm very like.
And it's typically good to have those, because I do have like a jiu-jitsu coach, Muay Thai, and then I have my strength and conditioning. Yeah. So, because one of them's like, I don't want to do that crap. Just see me, we'll work on that, and then you go later to your strength and conditioning.
How is it in the corner for you guys? You guys got 3 different dudes from 3 different crafts. Yeah. And if they panic and all start yelling.
Only one speaks.
Yeah, I like it like that.
And I don't need anyone else. We just need one. And usually I'm only hearing like 5% of what they're saying.
I know,
I'm like,
No.
Someone just put that they fought on the card you fought, and at the end
I was about to ask him, like, did that happen?
Right?
They rioted back there after we got our money. Hold on. Oh, I think I might have beat one of the girls. Oh, so this is one. It was actually Edwin that passed. That just passed. It was one of his Muay Thai girls. Okay. And I was doing an MMA fight, and they're like, "No, we want to just do a Thai fight." And I'm like, "No, it's going to be MMA. You're not going to tell me right then that time." And I was like, "Man, I'm not doing this. I'm doing MMA." So, anyways. She's the one that took me down after we did. And then I did a reversal, and I got up and I did an elbow, and then and so she didn't want to come back, and then they stopped it, and then they just rioted. They're like, no, it wasn't my fault. Yeah. But I remember that. Yeah, like, give me our money. We're like, we gotta go.
It's really like bully. So, like early on, like when women fighting started getting bigger, like before it like really hit. Did you find that you'd get a lot of shows trying to do that to like bully you and like make you do like shit that you didn't really want to do? Like they're like, oh, you're gonna do kickboxing, like.
In the earlier times, I feel like they're just not trying to pay me.
Yeah, so that's a big one.
And I'm like, what? No, like you're not. how much? Like, I'm not gonna name. I already told you who I was talking about. But the tickets are super crazy expensive. Like, just to like general is $1,500, and then like the other tables are like $5,000, $10,000. He tried to say, okay, we can give you $500. I said, who? Like, I'm like, no, I'm not fighting for $500. And he was like, well, if you win, you get another fight. I'm like, so 1,000? Cool. No, I'm not doing that. Like, not to like, you know, to my own harm, but I have like 17 pro fights. I want a 3-fight win. You know, like, why am I going to fight for $500? I'm not doing that, especially when the tickets are so much.
No way.
So I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
So I think, too, you got to stand your ground eventually. If you don't stand your ground, like for these young fighters that are coming up, like, don't let these motherfucking promoters and motherfuckers have a mouthpiece. And they convince some of these young guys that it's this and this. And
they act like they care, but they really don't. Only promoter I can honestly say that's always has been there is probably Brett from Bama. I don't know if you ever dealt with him.
No, not
He's
yet.
actually pretty cool. Other than that, they don't care.
I mean, because in boxing is the same shit. But when I'm negotiating for fighters, and like I got Jolene her world title fight within 3 fights. Within 3 fights, I told her you'll get a world title fight. And they always try to use her and give her 2 weeks notice. She took in fights in 2 weeks notice. We fought when we went to Mexico to fight for the WBC title. Give her 3 weeks notice. Fucking 10,000 feet above sea level. Like, dude, like just every possible way.
Did she walk around relatively
close? Oh yeah, she doesn't never have to cut. She cut for.
Well, that's the nice part about it. Yeah.
So she never has to because she. But the thing is, she always fights bigger girls.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have like her last fight that we ever did was at 105, which should have been her weight. She won the title 105.
Oh, small.
But she won the title at 112 and 108. And we were looking for that third world title constantly. And it was like, and I always have a philosophy in my, when I train people, and I was like, hey, look, you can't stop destiny. You just can't stop destiny. When I met her, I told her we would fight that girl. Whenever I was like, you will fight her for that WBC title. And then we went to Mexico. I mean, the odds were really stacked against us. I've always believed in her skill. With a full camp, she would have done better in Mexico, like in the elevation. But, I mean, you're still getting gypped, man. They put you in shitty rooms. You all of a sudden eat the food that you're supposed to have good food, and all of a sudden you're getting sick. So it's very, it's dangerous when you go to another country and, like, it's a big fight. It's not like these little TJ fights. Like, this is for the WBC world title. It's not like we're fighting for, you know, and then she doesn't get paid shit. I mean, she got paid nothing. Nothing, you know what I mean? So, and that's my thing, like, when she fought for the 100, she finally got the opportunity to fight for the 105, same situation, 2 weeks notice, nothing. And I told her, I was like, look, it's up to you. I always tell my fighter, you're the boss. And more managers and trainers need to understand this. The fighter has to be the boss. He's the one who puts himself in danger. You're not the boss, dude. You're there to guide him. You're there to help them with what you can, but you cannot sit here and convince them that that's the shit they have to do. So my fighters make the last call. I never make the last call. If my fighter says no, I'm like, no. Period. They don't. I don't keep negotiating. Because the fighter's the boss, and a lot of trainers forget that. And they start going where like I'm the boss here. And you're not. You're not in the ring, motherfucker. They are. We're here to guide. A good trainer's there to guide and give you instruction. That's it. Know your. A team that knows their role is a very successful team because everyone knows their fucking role. But they have a tendency to do that, to put that panic. So I told her, it's on you. And she's all like, well, I got nothing to lose. Fuck it, let's do it. So, hey, she said, yeah. I tried to negotiate a bit more money. So she got a little bit of money. Didn't get too much more. So we fight. And I mean, the fight's hard, you know. She's not in, you could tell she's not in rhythm. Timing's bad, but she dropped the girl for the first time in her career.
Awesome.
So I was still like, in a full. A lot of people when she got out were like, in a full camp you would wreck her. Like, you would wreck this girl, you know. But I don't want her to fight no more. She has nothing to prove. She's gonna be in the Hall of Fame in women's boxing, 2 world titles in 2 divisions.
That's pretty awesome.
Like at the age she's been doing it. So her last world title fight, she fought at 46 for a world title, and was competitive. Like, you know what I mean? Like. With 2 weeks notice. With a full camp, we would have won that. But that's when it comes to like female fighters in MMA. They paint a pretty picture in TV. So people now think, oh, women are getting paid legit. But that's a few women. right?
A few. That's what I was just talking. So when it's only a few, but
they
even
paint you that
the
picture on TV, like, oh shit, girls are making dough.
Yeah.
But when you talk to girls that are coming up, you see that it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not what they're painting. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's for a lot too. Like it's like you know, a lot of people think that you know, just because you fight, you know, you're rolling in it, you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you know, I'm like,
yeah.
it's not. That's not the case. You gotta work your way up.
That's the thing in boxing too. My fighter's ranked #1 in the IBF in the world. Mm-hmm. So people just assume he's like, oh, you know, we should have more money, but he's a young kid and he's made mistakes in contracts. Well, you've been around for the arguments I had with him.
Yeah.
He's signed things without telling me, and he just made a bunch of mistakes. Where right now he could have been. His last fight, he smoked the guy in 2 rounds, and we were getting called. Personally, got called by Floyd. Everyone wanted to sign him, but we couldn't because he didn't tell me nothing. And when I looked at the paper, he was signed for 3 fucking years.
Wow,
dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, dude, we would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when I had a talk with him. I was like, look, I do my job, you do your job.
Yeah.
My job is to see this stuff, to take this to the lawyer, to see everything. So you don't fucking make these type of mistakes.
Yeah, because there's some times where like they'll put a nice little ribbon on something, you know.
And
that's that, you know.
That's how
when you're younger, you're like, oh fuck yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
so the way they did it to him is his contract was up, but they sent us the contract for that fight. So they told him, oh, this is the contract for the fight.
Yeah.
Didn't see the fight print.
And he he can barely read and write. He's from Venezuela. He doesn't. He's not. You know, he was born to fight.
Yeah.
That's what he's gonna do. He's born to fight.
Yeah.
So when he signed all the papers, he was signing everything.
That's shady. They just said it's for the fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, see,
so
I tell you, never sign nothing unless I'm there. Like, sign nothing. And that's what we have now. This is what we have. I'm like, hey, don't sign nothing unless we're there. Because it is shady. Like Herman saying, shout out Herman. You know, some managers are crooks. They take more than they deserve. But that's some shit a fighter needs to know too. Yeah. No percentages. Study your craft. Like don't study their fucking craft. Like you're self-employed. Yeah. You should know that. Yeah. When you're a fucking fighter, you're self-employed. Study your craft. Know your shit. You know? A lot of people don't look at their stuff. Don't do what they do. Yeah. You know, and it happens that way. You know what I mean? Like, it's also in boxing. People think boxing makes more than, not everybody. You don't make crazy fucking money in boxing neither.
I do feel that boxers make a little bit more than MMA fighters. Yeah.
I mean, the ones that make money are like
the ones that are really making money, it's very few. Yeah. Because even some of the top guys, Lomachenko, pound for pound, one of the better fighters, he barely made $1 million. And he's a 2-time world champion in 2 divisions, and he barely made $1 million. Barely. Because he's destined to be a superstar. Because that's the best amateur history of the sport. This fucker has 396 wins with 1 loss as an amateur.
It's crazy when you see those records for like boxers. Like,
right?
We're not time to do so many fights.
You do that.
Amateur equivalent to MMA. Like, is there like a...
is there like an amateur circuit for MMA guys?
Or you just like go straight to pro? Or
because that's what
there is. Yeah. There's amateurs. I personally, you know, I figure like getting hit in the face sucks either way. So when I found out I was pretty good at it, I'm like, I'm just gonna go, you know, I'm just gonna go pro. So I did like a couple of smoker fights, you know, get my feet wet, and then you know, from then on, I got into like a couple of little amateur shows. Yeah. Like Grappler X, I believe they're the ones who are putting them on. Okay. And so I did a couple of those in like 1 first round, you know. Putting it down, so I felt like I had a good grasp for the sport, so I'm like, might as well start getting paid for it.
Does it help to be athletic off the bat? Because you know some people are just not athletic.
Yeah.
But they pick up fighting. They pick up fighting.
Yeah. I was lucky because I was real. I'm like toot my own horn. Yeah. I was real athletic in high school. Like I picked up wrestling. I only wrestled for 3 years, and then by the end of high school, I made it to the state tournament. You know, there's like people who like wrestle their whole lives and not even make it, especially in California being a huge state. Yeah. So like I had a really good grasp of like my balance and how to not get taken down and how to take people down. Yeah. So that really got me through my early years of fighting when I was just like really green and striking and you know didn't know too much. I just took people down and tried to submit them or ground and pound.
I had no background in fighting at all.
Yeah?
At all.
Really? Oh,
I ran track and field my whole life.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I went through college to do that, but someone was like, I can't really see you doing MMA. I'm like, why not? I could do that. And literally, because I was pregnant at that time, literally 2 weeks after I had my son, I started fighting. And like, they're like, you want to spar? See how you do? I'm like, all right. So I did.
He's like, yeah, it's me.
And but the thing was, I didn't care. Not that I don't care about getting hit, but it doesn't faze me. Like sometimes, like, no. But I'll just keep on banging out. They're like, let's just throw you in a fight. I'm like, let's go. And been doing it ever since.
It honestly takes a special person to be in combat sports.
It does.
Yeah.
Like, it's either you are or you're not.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that really try, and we're in gyms.
Yeah.
And some of these guys, like, you can tell them no, and it's
all
like
the time. It's always funny because I teach. So since I teach at the UFC gym, there's a lot of people that come in, and they're like, "Well, I want to spar." I'm like, "Well, we have sparring on like Saturdays." Whenever there's this one particular girl, and she's bigger, and she bangs and whatever, and she always goes in and just wails on girls.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Put up your hands. You're gonna drop girls up." She's like, "Okay." I'm like, "All right." So I let them go. Like, you know, if I see something that might touch. I don't know. I just kind of flicked it and just turned it right there. She was like, nope, nope, and I walked off.
All right, it's been fun.
I'm not.
To the mic here.
In boxing, we have gym fighters. They're fucking monsters and bags. Like, fuck, you see them hit the bag and you're like, this fucking will kill me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're fucking it. But then as soon as they get in the ring, it hasn't happened. They look like boxing trophies. They don't move.
Yeah.
They can't apply it. You know, the bag's not hitting back.
And that's why, like, my way of teaching and the way I teach, I always tell people, technique first.
Right.
Don't worry about power. Don't worry about speed. That could be developed with time. Like, if you don't know how to hit right, I don't care how fucking hard you hit. You're not gonna hit the target. You don't understand distance.
Yeah.
Just come and work light. Pick your shot. Like, be calm. You're not gonna learn it in one day.
Right.
Like, everyone wants to see, oh, I can do this. And then there's the gym asshole that already feels he can walk into a gym and call out a fighter. And, and most
I watched UFC last night. I know how to do the UFC.
Most gyms, I don't know how the UFC runs, but most gyms, when we were at Undisputed, and I was at Undisputed, if you did some shit like that, I'd throw you in the ring. Like, listen to motherfucker, like, you getting in with somebody, and you got wrecked.
Yeah.
You wanted to play tough.
No, we do the same thing. We see a tough guy, and we're like, oh, yeah, my turn.
You gotta weed him out.
Bring him out. Like, you sit out.
One is picking on all the other newer people. He's just picking on him, like, all right, put my gloves on.
Yeah.
we did a whole thing where I told everybody, people were, wanted to do the amateur TV. Remember, I did the whole. Yeah. So I did what we learned. I was like, hey, look, for this week, you're not gonna box. I was like, you're gonna fight. Everybody wants to try out for the team. You gotta fight. I gotta see if I could teach boxing. I can't teach heart. I can't teach you to want this shit.
Right.
So the whole week was show me heart.
Yeah.
Fuck, we had like 40 people try out, remember? Yeah. First day was fucking fast, dude. Everybody wanted to try out.
Yeah.
By the middle of the week, I had like 10 people left. By the middle, people were having concussions and but that's the only way you're gonna weed that shit out.
Right.
Like, as a coach, you don't want to sit here and waste your time training people. That's time.
That kind of reminds me when I sparred with Liz the first time at Undisputed in North Park. I'm like, let's just go see the girl. And this was when I was fighting at 125, but I was kind of walking around 125. So I was a smaller girl. Now I'm like 150, but I remember it was just blood just coming out. I remember turning over, just spitting out. And then Liz is like, she does not stop moving. I'm like, what do we do? I'm already banged up. I just keep on going. Lumps everywhere.
That's when you know as a coach, like, that person. Yeah. Because, like I said, I believe I could teach anybody the skill of it. But I can't teach you heart. No coach can teach heart. So anybody here, if you go to a gym and they tell you they can make you a fighter and you don't got heart, they bullshitting you.
Yeah. There's a lot that were like, well, do you think I can fight? I'm like, honestly, I gotta see you spar first. Yeah. That's rule number one. Yeah. I want to see what you do after you get hit. Yeah.
and not with some skill. Like, show me you're willing to fight. Show me that you have some fighting in you. Like, it's not gonna be like a fucking full. You guys do 3 rounds, 5 rounds, we do 12. We're not gonna put you for a full fight. Yeah. All I need is a round to know if you're willing to fight. But then there's some people that just cannot learn. I'm sorry, there's just something we can't learn. I'm sorry, they cannot learn. They're just not coordinated. This wasn't meant for you.
Yeah.
Like when you see regular people like trying to spar, do you not feel like I'm a fucking god to these people?
It's funny because then I'll do stuff and the people that I train, they're like, "You're so quick," and I'm like, "What do you think? I'm just here for shits and giggles?" Like you just thought
Like, oh, you're actually good.
You're actually good.
What's better is when you're sparring guys and they get pissed, you know, that they don't beat you. And then, what do you expect is gonna happen? Like, you think you're gonna come here and kick my ass?
That's the first day. It's like, come on, man.
Like, you like when you don't even go hard, like I'll just take people down and let them up, and move around, and they get all pissed off and walk out. Like, you guys gonna go any other way than that?
When I was at City, some dude came in like that, and I don't remember Vernon or Manny. Someone threw like a 14-year-old kid at him, fucked him up, and he got a grown man. He gets up and he's like, "You guys teach people to hurt people," and he's like, "What motherfucker? You like, what do you think happens in sparring? Like, motherfucker, you get hit. Like you get hit. Like if you ain't ready to be hit, if you that's why." It's so, like, it's not necessarily 100% true, but it is. People that come from a hard life are better fighters. You're just mentally prepared to have something to be able to get through something that's not going your way, to be able to feel like the first time I did jiu-jitsu, you know, obviously I didn't do it, I had done it already. But when I first did it at City and they would put knees on me or certain things that would like fuck with my breathing. And it would fuck with me to the point where I felt panic, you know, just the fucking heat of the gi would make me feel panic because I've never experienced that. You know, I'm stand-up, I'm good, you know, but the panic of not being able to control your breathing in something you're not used to. Like, I've had marathon runners come in here, I work out, or anybody works out, but then you make them do something that they're not used to.
I get that all the time. Like, I'm good, and I'm like, okay, let's go. But they're like, always a little different.
So yeah, and I always explain that to like my clients, like, look, man, I don't care if you're the most, all those muscles for what? That's my, I'm chubby, like, and I box with everybody. You know, that's my philosophy. I'm all like, I start beating them up and I'm bodying, and I'm all like, all those muscles for what, boy? All those muscles for what? And they just start mentally. I break people. That's my way. I'm gonna break you mentally. I'm gonna talk shit while I'm in there. And you've been around. You know, I'm a shit talker like a motherfucker when I'm in the ring because stop, shut me up. That's my thing. Shut me up. If you don't like that, I talk a lot. Come shut me up. That's my thing. Shut up, person. That's why I like Conor. I like Floyd because I believe my belief that people that not everyone, but some people that don't say with confidence. They're just scared to say. They're not that confident. They're not that confident. Like Floyd really believes he cannot lose. You are not going to convince that man. Same thing with Conor. You're not going to convince these people that there's someone that could beat him, but they have the balls to say it. Because even if they lose, like it really didn't affect Conor. Losing didn't really affect him. He came right back and
it's literally right back.
Let's run it. Run it.
At that level, and I think at the level as well, once you get to that level, everyone has skills at that level. It's a mental game.
That's exactly.
It's a mental game, and I always say, anytime I might have like saw you like, well, what if the fight didn't go my way? Every single time I knew 100% of everything, killed him the first round. So I just know it's a mental game at that point, you know.
Like the first time, because I always get nervous. So nerves I like because the first time that I didn't get nervous, I lost. Like I just felt too comfortable. You know, I got too like, not that I was cocky, but I was too comfortable. Like, I'm good. You know, fucking hitting mitts out there. And I didn't feel those like jitters that you. I believe you want to feel that. Because it becomes nature.
That's good.
It becomes fight or flight. It becomes natural. Like, oh shit, I gotta defend myself. This is dangerous. This is something that I gotta get. You know, I gotta get out of this shit, like one way or another, and that's how you find a lot of winners, a lot of champions do have that fear, because it turns into survival, and I'm gonna do anything to win. Anything to win. And some people have the flight. And they break, and I'm gonna fucking tap, or I don't want this no more. I'm gonna take a knee. You know, so I think that's what separates people as champions. Like when people are like, "Oh, were you good?" and I told them, "Yeah, I was good, but I was lazy." So I had a coach in Mexico always tell me, you know, you need 3 things to be a fighter. You know, you need this, and this. You know, you need this, and this. If you don't have all 3, you're never going to be a successful fighter. You know what I mean? Because you need all 3. Because skill will get you one place, and then you get tested the other 2 ways.
Yeah.
You get tested for heart.
Yeah.
Then you get tested for conditioning.
Yeah.
Because you can have heart and still get your ass
Yeah,
whooped.
like, you just run out the gas station.
As soon as you get tired, you're tired.
On the ground, come on.
Come on, man.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Because you'll still have that, right?
Yeah.
So I feel to be a successful fighter, you do need a bit of the 3.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be like a monster with all 3 of them, but you should have a bit of the 3, right?
Yeah. And I think too, what a lot of people don't understand is like when it comes to like mental, like your mental game, it's like not only fighters have to like be able to take pain, but you have to have that willingness to actually want to hurt people too.
Right.
Where like people.
No, exactly.
But it's one thing,
Yeah.
Because there's guys in the street who are like, oh yeah, you know, fucking. But it's like you have to really be willing to like, I'm gonna fucking crush this guy's face, or I'm gonna break his arm.
Because a
A lot of people have it like they can like you can tell because there's people who like they love fighting and they can't even watch someone get their arm broke like an arm bar. They're like, oh, you know, get away. And you're like, dude, you know, like you have to be willing to. Not like not look away. I have to be willing to actually do that to someone's arm. Like, a lot of people don't think about that.
A lot of people will see me. They're like, I could never imagine you, or they see me train or see me fight. I'm like, I'm just ready. I want to kill them before they kill me.
Yeah.
So that I hit definitely with a lot.
Like when I see your videos training, I'm like, damn, man, she's
crazy. Like I'll wake up one day and I'm like, I ain't going to the gym. Or, you know,
like,
I'll see you training. I'm like,
this is fuck.
whatever. Like,
I'm sitting there fucking flipping balls.
It's like midnight, it's all dark, and like it looks all badass, like there's a light swinging. I'm like,
what the fuck? I was like, yo, what the? I'm like, yo, dude, like, what?
Yeah.
Like the most I did was run. The hell was all this? Like I've never lifted weights in my life. I didn't believe. You know, boxing has to believe that weights damage and you get too big.
Yeah.
I know, but there's a way to build strength because obviously you guys aren't big. You guys are just fit. So there's a way to do that.
And actually, a lot of people are like, how much do you squat? I'm like, I actually don't squat really.
Yeah, like people
do this monkey shit.
Just all body weight. I like that.
Like I'm sure that there has to be, and that's why when people are like, I'm like, oh, I want to do weights. And I was like, but I want someone to teach me to do it. I don't want to go in there and just assume I'm doing something right. And just lifting weights. I'm big, so I can obviously lift some shit, but I don't think I'm doing it right where it's effective to my body.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that there has to be like a way to do things, and you have to get it right, done right.
Yeah.
The whole work smarter and harder. But you just seem like you're just working fucking hard. That's not like, it's just like scary.
I honestly just get bored. And so I'm like, what can I come up with? And I'll think of something, go to the gym. I'm like, this works.
So funny. That's so
like throwing mid-air, does like a breakdown. I'm not shitting. It's like insane, dude. I'm like sitting there like, what the fuck? That's why when I was like, when we did the first podcast, we had bartenders.
Cool.
So I had Esteban and I had Nick.
Your first one?
So that was my first one. So I was like, I'm going to do this shit. And they're like, well, why are you doing it for? And I was like, because I'm going to get the real out of people. I'm not here to write shit. I'm not here to ask written shit. I just want the real. So people can see that, they're real people.
Yeah.
They have stories. But we can also give people knowledge. We can, you know, whoever's watching and whoever. And that's the goal with what I wanted to do with the podcast. It's like I could get people to talk from different fields, from different things, and bring them in and learn. And
plus, it's cool to like see things from another person's perspective too.
Yeah.
Like it's cool hearing like you're like, Okay, I don't get nervous. So I'm not gonna engage. I'm terrified. All right.
And so one thing is, do guys get intimidated by you when if they want to hit on her?
That's a good question.
If like. They're like,
I don't really know. They don't really say much, but I know anytime that I date someone, they're always like, don't get her mad or whatever.
Yeah, so like if a guy was like, oh man, you know, she's beautiful, and then you're like, I'm a professional fighter.
Like,
like would that intimidate you?
Yeah.
It would?
Well, I mean,
he's like,
a little bit, but it'd be in a way like I'd mostly want to like if we ever did date, it'd be like I would want to fight you most of the time. I'd be like, who's doing dishes tonight? Let's scramble. Who's going to do dishes tonight?
My life would be like, girl, I got sexy fat.
That's how it was with Jonathan.
Yeah.
He was like, always one. I'm like, why are you tapping me out right now? We're laying down.
It's so bad. Like, if I had girls, I'm like, I just want to like.
But have you noticed some guys get intimidated by you and would not approach you as much? Or you see like.
I think if you don't know me, I'm not approachable in general. I think I have that face. That face, you know.
Just do it.
Let
us all know.
But when people fight now, sometimes they're like, so what do you do, like CrossFit? I'm like, no, I don't don't do that crap. Like, fight, like for real fight. I'm like,
Is it
the
for
real fight.
Will you get like on the flip side of that scale? Will you get overconfident guys who will try to skill you up on like fighting? Like if they're trying to spit game at you? Like,
Yeah. So that's just like people. Military guys are the worst.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
do you think you could fight me? I'm like, yo, you wouldn't even last like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
For me, so I don't know what you're talking about right now. So
That's
it's-
I can see that happening a lot
Yeah.
more than being intimidated.
Yeah, so, I mean, for guys, I guess it's different, right? Because it just makes it cake.
You know, it does like if I don't have that much, like I don't have that much game to begin with.
But it gives you a different type of confidence.
But
now,
yeah,
right? Like,
if I all my cards are on the table and they're still on, I'm like, well, I fight professionally, you know? Yeah, that's why. Yeah. You could Google me.
He
If
said
you-
that.
you can Google my yeah.
I actually said that a couple of times. I was like, the last name's Mark, so if you want to just look it up, I'll let you know.
Oh, Google bitch.
Yeah.
I use that line a lot, but not for picking up. I'll use it when I'm working. If I work in security at a bar, you get a lot of hotheads, you know, and they'll come in and like talk shit and they're like, "Oh, I'll kick your ass." I'm like, "You probably would, man." You know, like.
Yeah.
But see, okay, because I worked the door too, you know, I worked from time.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I worked before, but that's the difference between a motherfucker that really knows what he's doing than a motherfucker that thinks he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because the motherfucking guard that thinks he knows what he's doing, it immediately reacts and and I'm like, look, man, calm the fuck down. Like, no one wants to do that. You get paid for this shit because you understand what fighting really is. Like, you've been hit in the fucking face by motherfuckers.
I love
Wait.
Albie. Just real quick. I love Albie.
I didn't see that. Wait, who is that?
That's Albie. Big from Boston, Albie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, he knows us.
He knows everything about me.
He put his name and put Google me, bitch. Google me, bitch. I used to Google me, bitch, too. Yeah. Shit, I got Floyd. I came in at the Mayweather gym. We all packed it.
Yeah.
It's
Why
just
not?
it's the best line because they'll go in, they're just going off and off. I'm like, all right, man. Trying to keep my cool, and finally I'm like, well, I get off at 2:30, so if you want to come back, come back.
That's what I always
But in the
say.
meantime, just look, my name's Nick Barnes, just Google it,
Yeah.
and if you want to come back, I'll see you here in a couple hours.
My thing is,
They never come back.
I'm in a sport of old men. So most trainers, I'm 33. I'm like half the age of all these fucking trainers.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
you know, I get a lot of hate because I'm proud of what I fucking accomplished. They're like, oh, you shouldn't brag. I'm like, fuck you, I'm gonna brag. I worked for this bitch. No one gave it to me. No one just sat here and gave it to me. You know, because I get the shit of, you didn't make this fighter. And I was like, okay, but I got him now. And I took him somewhere. They're, oh, you didn't make this. But I have made fighters. Like, I've made a fighter that made Team USA. I made her from scratch. You know what I'm saying? So what's the difference? I think it's actually, there's something I've debated with some coaches. To me, it's easier to make a fighter than to get a fighter. That fighter already knows shit, and he has a way of thinking.
Right.
To try to convince him to go to my style and to do my shit, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So when I explain like the whole Bolivita thing, people are like, oh, you gotta, but I convinced a world-class fighter to stay with me for 2.5 years already.
Yeah.
That's a world-class guy that could be anywhere, anywhere, and he's still with me.
Yeah.
And he believes in my shit, and he believes what I teach.
Exactly.
And
That's
what I do.
good, you know? Yeah.
So I get that shit because I'm in the sport of old men. When I see MMA, it's a lot of young coaches, and you know, it's younger. In boxing, it's not the same. It's like, oh, you don't know shit because of my age, or you don't know nothing. But okay, let's see resumes.
Yeah.
Let me see your resume, and I'll show you mine. Because at the end of the day, everything is credentials. You can't go to a job interview and just take a blank piece of paper.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not, when I say the shit I've done, it's not bragging. It's just, I worked for that too. I worked to get what I got.
Yeah, you're proud of
It's
what you've
just,
done.
I'm a young fucking coach, and these old coaches just don't like it, you know, which that's another thing I was going to come to. In MMA, do you guys help each other a lot? Like gyms from gyms?
Right.
Do gyms help each other, or?
I think this is such a small community as well, and they always get like, oh, come down, and
Fucking boxing, man. Fuck, dude, we fucking. This is why, and this is what I'm gonna say, and I don't care who gets the fuck mad. San Diego is not where it needs to be in boxing because we fucking hate on each other.
Yeah,
it's real. It's real.
That.
We fucking hate each other. Everyone hates everybody. When you turn around and they shake your hand, and you turn around, fuck that motherfucker. We don't know shit about boxing. And that's the reason. That's my opinion why boxing is nowhere in San Diego. We should not be in between LA and Tijuana, two hotbeds of boxing, and us not have shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it makes.
Well, that's why I always feel. That's why I always feel like it's not. It doesn't make sense to like seclude yourself to only your gym.
Right.
Like we're like, especially like you said, it's such a small community when it comes to MMA.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't make sense to have all this talent here spread out and not be able to tap into it. You know.
But now since it's so small, I have someone that I have two people, one from Manny's gym, another one from Alliance. They keep on ringing that name around me, so I'm like, well, I can't go down there and train with them. I'm gonna fight them sometime soon.
Yeah.
Like, all right. So,
That's when it gets hard.
Yeah,
When,
especially for females, you know.
Yeah.
There's only a few 125ers, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's what you've done with a fighter, and it's proven to me. As long as my fighter trusts me, then I'm successful. If my fighter's comfortable with what I do and what I teach, and he's progressing, then I'm good. I don't need to prove to another coach. I'm not training you. I don't work with you. The thing is, I feel we need to leave the personal out. If you don't like me, don't shake my hand.
Right.
Don't talk to me. That's cool. But when we have fighters, what the fighter do to you?
Yeah.
Why should my fighter get the work? You know? I mean, because we're in a situation, right? Because I used to be at a gym where you're at, and shit went wrong. Whatever happened, happened. I'm not going to bullshit or nothing like that. But it's difficult to me to get him to spar my guy. Because Nick's the only motherfucker that's lasted with Bolivita. It's not that I can't tell you personally, but I feel like the whole situation that happened there, it's hard. Because I have friends there. Nick's my friend, Herman's my friend, Ronnie's my friend, and because I have beef with two guys there,
it makes it difficult.
It makes it difficult for me to go and ask my friend, hey man, can you help me out? I need help because I need a southpaw. And it's difficult. It's always difficult for me for that situation. Or at other gyms or this, you know, it gets to the point.
Like you want to respect, like, you're
I
know we're not seeing that as so.
That's his home shit. I don't want to go in there and get, you know. Like, I hesitated for this. I really did. I really did. I was like, but you know something? Nick's my boy. I'm not going to stop. And like I said, I'm not going to bash you. You work at Undisputed. It's a good gym. If anybody wants to go, downtown East Village, they want to go to the UFC gym in Mission Valley, go to Mission Valley. I'm not a competitor. I do my own shit. I do private. I got lawyers that come in here. I'm not competing with you motherfuckers. Like, plain and simple. And if it comes to fighters, I have good fighters. My fighters are fine. We can go do what we need to do. And like I said, it's just, watch out, motherfuckers. I'm coming to MMA. I'm coming to MMA. I'm going to start teaching some MMA motherfuckers some boxing. But, you know what I'm saying?
I see what Irvin said.
I sparred. Bully, he goes to bully.
He cheats. He moves too much. That's what he says about me now. Because I'm finally starting to get better at moving with Ken angles. He's always pissed. He's like, fuck you, man.
When I worked with you, that was my thing that I would tell you. I was like, dude, if you just get that, because you're a southpaw. Southpaws need to understand their southpaw angles. Learning southpaw angles.
I love fighting southpaws.
Dude, hey.
Well, for MMA or Thai, because that leg is right there all day.
That's the thing I said. I don't know what the dynamics down there.
I don't shit down there.
But if I got into it, obviously I would go teach. Like I would go with someone I felt was credible enough to be their understudy. I would have no problem being an understudy because that's not my sport. Like I've had some coaches tell me like, "Oh, you want to be in boxing?" I'm like, "Bitch, you ain't know what I've done. I'm gonna be your understudy." Like, well, don't disrespect me like that. But I'm going to another sport. So now if I go to, of course I'm gonna be an understudy. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna watch, but I'm not gonna have a fucking coach that knows less than me start telling me like, you want to be my assistant?
You punch soft.
I know you're talking about Bolivita.
You can kick.
Well,
we can delete. How do we delete on this?
It's because this motherfucker hits unhuman-like. Something. The way he hit you with those 16-ounce gloves and still feel that type of power.
I felt it on my whole spine. It's insane.
Freakish power. Like,
insane.
Freakish. He gave me a hairline fracture before his last fight on my arm from holding mitts. I mean, it's freakish. Like, when you feel that shit, it's like...
And what's most fucked up about it is, like, you see it coming, too. Like, I'll see his elbow raised, because he's going light on me, relatively light, you know, so I can see his elbow raising to throw the cross. And I was like, like a deer in a headlight. And then I just keep trying to close the distance on him, and just bam, I felt it just shut her all the way down.
Man, that motherfucker hit, you know what I'm saying? So, another thing is, what we were talking earlier, they don't pay you well, they don't do this. What drives you? You know, what drives you to keep staying in something like, do you get discouraged from time to time? Like, man, fuck this. Like,
there is times.
No more, like,
there is times I'm like, man, I make more doing my privates and doing all the other stuff.
Private is where it's
I make way more money with that. I don't have to prove my point anymore, but I love the competition. There's nothing like walking into a cage and going in there. So, and I mean, like John X, he was like, I probably have like 4 or 5 years left in me, so I might as well just keep on going, and when that right one comes, I will. Yeah. I learned from my earlier career not to just say yes to every single fight, you know, and I did that when I wasn't ready, you know. But now, like, once the money and the time frame, you know, it'll come. I'm just not going to rush it, you know. I'm just not going to rush it. I got time. I'm not just fighting, so I can do other stuff, like train other people. And that actually helped me, is training, holding pads and doing stuff, because everything's so much slower. I'm seeing what people are doing. I'm watching their hips, and I just see that in fights, you know. So everything's so much slower. So there's times.
Well, my coach has the philosophy that you're either gonna be a fighter or a trainer. He doesn't like the whole both thing. He just doesn't. He doesn't like that. He just says no, like, you know. But I feel the same way. I felt like as soon as I started being a coach, my sharpness just increased massively. Like,
I bet.
Oh shit! Like I'm seeing.
Because you forget those little things when you start going, and then you start remembering because you're teaching them again. You know.
And then when you start teaching top level guys, now that I've I made my name and I earned top level fighters, and they punch at a different speed. But now when I see it, and then I spar people, and I'm like, really, motherfucker, that's what you do? Like, I have a thing that I like to do when I spar and someone does it, I catch it. Purposely, all the time. Boom. Throw that shit for real. But I'm just trying to get them to commit. Because I'm a southpaw, so my angle is going to... I want them to commit with that jab. So I always try to catch it, and then I'm all like, throw it for real, bitch. And then they commit. So then I could just split their jab or do tricks, you know. Like you said, at one point, everyone's skilled. You have to learn. In boxing, you have to learn tricks. You have to learn things. You have to learn little things. Is it the same in MMA? Like, I've seen people put fucking their hand in there and fucking breathing.
I use my head a lot. Like I have a shaved head, so I'll let it stubble up. You know, I'll shave like midweek before the fight, and then like let it stubble up. And then if we're clinching, you're feeling that. You're grinding it, you know.
So like you gotta learn tricks eventually. I believe that too. When you reach a certain level, there's that next thing. Okay, I gotta learn how to do this. I gotta learn how to. So what type of tricks? Well, you already said. Well, what do you do?
I don't say
I don't want to.
I don't think
I was like, wait, never mind. I don't do the head thing.
I don't think I have tricks, but I'm just known, I guess you can, not a dirty fighter, but I'm going to throw anything from anywhere, from any point. It does not matter, and I'll come up, I'll do a backhand, anything. You're going to feel it, and don't leave anything open.
I mean, I have some tricks. Man, I do so much shit. I be fucking with all these guys. I can use a whole nother level of tricks.
I like to move. Well, MMA. People think if you move your hip a certain way, that you're going to throw a kick, and I won't. And or I'll do a switch just so you can look at my feet real quick. But I'm not doing it with my feet. I'm going with an uppercut. You know. So I do a lot of switching and twitching my hips a lot, or moving around.
I feel like I can do it, man.
I mean,
I feel that I can do it. I feel that I know enough. That I do an MMA fight. I feel like I know enough. Like I know how to check kicks because I've been in MMA gyms for so long. They're not been full boxing. I've been from city boxing. So before even the North Park's open and from Undisputed even open, I was at City. So I understand it. The thing that gives me is like I can fight. Like I can fight. I can fight. I keep putting that in my head. I was like, I'm gonna get choked the fuck out. I was like, I cannot get choked the fuck out. I just like. Or kick. Like, I've never been really fucking kicked for real. Like,
all kicks,
You know, like, I've been like, that shit hurt. So I used to, like, Dennis Drychep, the guy from City, he would tell me, he's like, even defense hurts. Checking kicks hurt. So it was like, if you're not ready to feel pain, like, you're not ready for Muay Thai kickboxing. So I was like, fuck that, man. I'm just going to box. I'm good. I'm just going to box. I don't feel like I want to get kicked in the fucking leg really hard, or, you know, but I have that confidence. Like you said, if you don't have that confidence, why you in any type of combat sport? You gotta believe that you can do it. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna go in tomorrow and fucking do it. You give me a month or two, I'll develop something. I would be smart. I'm not gonna sit there and try to learn a complete thing of MMA. but I would learn takedown defense maybe.
Yeah.
Or, you know, certain things that would help.
That's stuff to get you
Because
through.
my shit is just, obviously, I'm going to try to throw hands.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
Like, you being a striker, all you really need is just like, obviously you got the striking, so just get solid takedown defense, so that way they can't take you down, you know? Or like, if you do get taken down, just know basic get-ups, use the cage, and you'd be pretty solid.
You know, I just don't want to get kicked. If someone kick me, I'm going to get my gun.
You just walk out of the cage, go back.
This shit hurt, motherfucker. The fuck then. But yeah, man, I just feel like I want to do the transition to MMA because, you know, I've been fucked a lot in boxing.
Yeah.
The fucking fighters, man. Like my coach, this is something that I'm always going to remember my coach telling me that never fall in love with a fighter. He told me that, and I didn't really got it. I don't know if he was telling me because I was training a girl at the moment. So I didn't really got it because I was training a girl at the moment, so I thought he was telling me because it's a girl.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, man, what the fuck are you talking about? So I didn't pay attention, but then I realized, what the fuck? You know, like, fuck, like it dawned on me, like I put time's not, like I don't care about the money, but like the time I put into people, like I've wanted when I left Undisputed, I didn't want to do boxing anymore. I was like, I'm gonna retire. I don't want this shit no more. I've been doing this too long. I've been fucked. Like, shit, man, like, why do I want this? Like, why do I keep putting myself through this? Yeah. That's why I was like, maybe I'll do the transition to MMA. Like, I'll start coaching MMA guys. I mean, I'm not gonna teach you how to do nothing else but strike. Yeah. Right. But I've seen stuff, like, you know, like, we've worked. And, because I do watch MMA, and I try to see angles they do, stuff they do. And I feel like certain things I was telling you. Yeah. And I'm the type of coach that will take the fucking shot. Like, I take fucking shots. Like, I'm not the coach I'm like, fucking put it in there. Wow. Like, I want you to feel how it really felt. Like, how the impact's really going to be. But, I mean, I feel like I have enough to understand. I mean, I would like to work eventually with MMA guys. Just to stand up, learn some stuff, maybe do the transition there.
Plus, it's a cool way to freshen up, like,
I just feel boxing, I'm so over it. Like, I just be like, I keep saying, like, I'm going to retire. I'm just going to stop. I don't know what the fuck else I'm going to do. That's all I know. Boxing's always fine. But I just feel like, like she said, the challenge. Yeah. Like, can I do it? Yeah. Right. Can I coach MMA guys and give them some solid shit? So that's maybe my next goal. Not too 100% sure, but you know, I've offered, like, I've told people, like, anybody needs them, let me know. I'll go learn under them. I don't give a shit. I'll go hold pads for somebody. I just teach very different. I'm very methodical in my shit, but that works for boxing. I feel like, I don't think a lot of it will work for MMA. Yeah, that'd be a cool way to just switch up. Like, that's why it'd be fun for you to do it, because now you have to think about your sport in a different light. Right. You know, like, you'd have to be like, because like you said, you can't do, like I say, for example, you're not like dipping under shit. You're not dipping under shit because the knee's gonna come, you know. So like a lot of like I stand in a very hard angle. Like my front foot is like very. I'll take that leg out. You know what I mean? So I stand in a very, very hard angle, and I drop my fucking hands. I fight like my hands be like way down here because I understand punch distance. Yeah. But you're watch with that head. Like, dude, I'm over here just fucking karate kicks. You're fighting like, I know you can't reach me. Oh, what I mean? So that stuff is what, like, I would have to understand. I would have to understand the distance from the foot to the body because that adds space from what the jab is. You know what I mean? And things like that. Like when I prepare a fighter for a fight. So they asked me, do you watch a lot of tape on the other fight? I was like, not a lot. I'll look for one of his early fights, a middle fight, and a current fight. And I watch 30 seconds of each. Why? Because in those 30 seconds, he's going to have a habit. Yeah. If he's doing it in every from the beginning to the end, that's a habit. That's smart. Yeah, that's smart. That's a habit. That's not. Yeah. So I don't work on flaws. The flaw's there. I'm going to make you fight on flaws. Yeah. I look at, okay, he's really good at that right hand. I'm going to take that right hand away. Yeah. And then I know he has a habit. So when we fought Julius, when Bolivita fought him, every time he threw a jab, he dropped. Yeah. And I was like, okay, everyone does that. Like, a lot of people drop, but he had no pull, no cross block, nothing. Jab, down to the body. Jab. If you're listening, Julius, I'm sorry. But he was dropping it, and I was like, okay, everyone does that in the beginning of their career. So then I saw a middle fight. Did it again. Wow, dropped it. Yeah. Wow, dropped it. No cross block, no pull. All right. So then I was like, this last fight before us, did the same shit. I was like, all right. I was like, Wally, every time this motherfucker throws a jab, let the right hand go and just finish with a strong combination. Every time. So we were at the Floyd gym, and we're literally practicing the game plan, and there's a guy recording from like a big YouTube channel called Hustle Boss, and they talk about boxing.
Yeah.
He's literally recording the game plan like a week and a half before the fight.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, we didn't know he was like,
oh,
so we're just fucking working.
Why you let him do it?
So we're working, and I was like, after the fight, I told Boldy, I was like, dude, you know if you would have watched that video, that was the entire game plan.
Yeah.
And that's all we did. Like, I didn't overwork, like, I don't prepare for a whole fight. To me, that's retarded. You do not prepare for a whole fight. I prepare for round one.
I don't like looking at video.
I told my I don't think fighters should. I
let my coach do what they want to do.
Yeah,
you tell me what my fight camp is going to be. I don't want to know what they're good at, what their flaws are. I don't care whatever. I'm just here.
I don't know if you do it. I do it. I'll like if I look at it, then I'm instantly.
It's in my head.
Yeah, I'm like fuck.
I've done that
monster,
before.
Like, you know,
I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, so that, I believe that too. You gotta let the fucking fighter just be a fighter. Just come in here and hey, do this and this.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, I need to worry about that. You don't need to have, because I believe that. Every time you see your opponent, you will see something.
Because
every
time you look at it.
You'll see that flaw, you'll see an opening, and that shit will never leave your head.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh, I know he's going to do. And you didn't even know what fight it was, if it was a first, like, so I only watched 30 seconds too, because we do that as trainers. We overthink it. I fucking sit there and watch a whole fight. I saw like 1,000 things. Now I'm more like, fuck.
Yeah.
Can my guy really beat him? Trust me, any coach that tells you he doesn't do that is bullshitting.
Yeah.
Like you sit in there, you doubt if your fighter can beat him.
You're like, oh fuck.
Dude,
yeah.
Like you'll see some crazy shit, and now you're sitting there like,
oh shit.
I gotta really get on this, man.
Yeah.
Like, but it really happens, even for the coach. Like you don't just fucking sit there and be like, yeah, we got this shit, and fuck no.
Yeah.
Like I would think, like, fuck, can we really beat him? Like, fuck, he looks strong, or you start just freaking out, man.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, and then. You could just never bring that to the gym.
Yeah.
My last fight, all he told me was like, she's a wrestler. I'm like, all right. And I'm like, okay. She shows up to the fight in a tie, like that tie dress. I was like, she's a wrestler. I was like, what? So I was like, so I don't know. I'm like, is she trying to just mentally mess with my head? So what I do, and I'm like, we're about to walk in, I'm acting like I'm going to do some like takedown. If you know me, I'm probably not going to take you down.
Yeah, she be kicking the shit out of bags. Heavy ass bags. And see, that's another thing I think a lot of gyms make the mistake. In boxing, we don't hit these heavy ass bags. These heavy bags are not made for boxing. People punching these fucking 200-pound bags like a fucking savage. That shit'll hurt you.
Yeah.
Why is that?
They're too heavy.
Why do you?
We like back because we have to be able to control the bag. We don't, in boxing, we don't stand there and just wob and rip and rip.
Yeah.
I don't like the heavy ass bags. Personally, I like my fighters to understand that something's coming back. So these small bags, when you hit it, it's coming back.
Yeah.
You have to understand that something's, it has a concept to it. In Mexico, go to a boxing gym, you'll never see a bag that big.
Really?
Ever. Like, what the fuck are these big ass things? Like, I've seen those 400-pound ones. Yeah. City had a few of those.
They had a giant one at North Park. The old one. Remember that big one?
Yeah.
And that's for someone that's kicking or some shit.
Yeah.
But for punching, I don't see it. You know, I just don't see the benefit in it. I don't see the impact. It's not good for your shoulders. It's not. I just don't see the benefit in it. I see that a lot of gyms have that flaw. Like they just want to teach everything that. They focus, this big ass bag works for everything. Which it does work for class. I'm not saying that it doesn't work for a class or. Yeah. Right. But real fight, like Boldy never liked hitting those big bags. Okay. He would be like, they hurt. Like, I don't like it. So he would go to one of the small ones. The red one and everything. Because it's such an impact to your fucking body. I don't think you want to feel that as a boxer. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Makes sense.
You know, I don't like those big ass bags, man. They just feel hella heavy, dude. I mean, but you guys gotta work on all that shit, lifting up boulders over here. Yeah. I was just picking up rocks. She be tossing this like bag and shit. Like, what the fuck? I was like, throwing it through walls. I just think, like, to me, like, if say this, you hit on her. And then she's that's my name, and blah. You look her up, and you see her just toss the fucking bag. Like a heavy bag.
We have a mutual friend, remember Antoinette?
Yeah.
And she called and was like, what did she say? about, I have a fighter.
She's talking on the phone? Yeah, so I get off work and I'm walking back to my car. And she kept saying like she has a fighter, someone's gonna kick my ass or something like that, like jokingly.
Yeah.
And I forgot what you guys were doing. I think you drive past me
Something
or
like
did
that,
you
yeah.
see me? Or
So you were someone walking, yeah.
Like, I didn't know it was, so she like starts, she's like, yeah, she has on the phone. I was like talking shit. I was like, oh, you fuck, like, you got fight. She has on the phone. I was like, alright, hey Christina. How's it?
Oh man, so you guys have any cool street stories? Don't incriminate yourselves, but
Street, like fighting
Fights
stuff?
or
No, I've honestly never been in a street fight.
Never been in a street fight?
Yeah,
God
never
damn,
have.
I fucking wish I was.
My first MMA fight was like, I was so scared because I was like, I've never been in a fight, so I was super nervous about it.
You know what I hate? I hate being big because I'm always a target. Because it's a lose-lose for me. If I beat up a guy smaller, I'm like, yo, you fucking dick, you beat up the small guy. I'm gonna get my ass whipped by a small guy. You get your ass whipped by a small guy. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big guy, so people are like, oh, you're a fucking dick. You're just beating him up. But if I get my ass whooped, then oh, you got a little ass guy. So I've been in too many fights. We go out. You guys look at anytime we go out.
Unfortunately, I have been in but it went bad. And yeah.
Yeah. Is the case over?
She killed the guy.
The case is over, but I'm on probation right now. But I was away.
Oh, that's the,
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was downtown and the girl started the fight, but I ended it. And 6 months later, I get a knock on my door. So I was in and out of court for a year.
That's fine.
And yeah, so now.
So you gotta put them to sleep where they don't remember you.
Well, it was someone random. Was like, the police were like, "Who was that girl?" And it was somebody saying her name's Christina Nick, a professional fighter.
Oh,
And that's
yeah, that sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah, so I'm a felon now.
Yeah, man. I just feel like that's where I'm at. Like people just see that I'm big and I'm fucking tired. I got a fucking eye on my throat. You know what I mean? Like this motherfucker got a big ass eye in his throat.
Yeah.
And I'm super, he can vouch. I try to tell people like, dude, like I don't have no problems, man.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy. I'm telling you right now.
I usually walk around with a smile on my face. I'm happy. I'm like, I don't want any problems. This is what I do all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to do this.
It's not like I'm scared. I'm just like, that's more work that I have to do.
That's how we think. Like we do this like all the time.
I'm like, I'm not getting paid for this.
I get hit in the gym, I get hit over here, like
I don't want to take you down. I want to do a double.
I'm like, I don't want to be mad. Don't
Yeah.
make me mad.
My hair's going so good.
I'm doing fine. I don't want to get to this. But yeah, man, it happens a lot, man. These fucking things happen so much when you're a fighter, and that's the fucked up part because they'll use it.
Especially if they hear you're a fider. Then,
I hate that. And I hate when my friends will say, I'm like, let's not tell anyone. We don't have to say
But I mean,
anything.
do chicks really like, what, bitch? Like,
Chicks? No.
You get
Mostly, no.
dudes?
It's mostly guys. I'm telling you. Guys are the worst.
Yeah. So funny.
Yeah.
And I think if they're trying to hit them, I don't know what it is, but like, man, you can't do anything to me. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I don't know what you're. I'm just having a drink. I don't understand. And they get so aggressive.
I saw a video where you're kicking some big dude in the back, pretty fucking
Oh
viciously.
yeah, Rob. Yeah, I saw it. I was like,
Yeah.
You were kicking big ass dudes in the back and shit. I'm like, oh, what the fuck was that about?
I love that video. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So I can see you hurting some dudes. I'll hurt you. I don't know, but I could see where she's coming from. Where dudes try to do it kind of half-ass jokingly, but they throw that serious shit in there. Like why?
And then maybe they're gonna think I'm gonna say something else. I'm like, nah, I'll destroy you. And then they're like, what do you mean? I'm a man. I'm like, what does that got to do with me? This is what I do for a living, like you know. So guys are the worst.
I've never had a problem with it. Well, yeah, I do. I had one problem with a chick. She threw a straw at me. I'm like, girl,
A straw.
what are you doing, man? Like, why you throwing shit at me, man?
Which Bradley was
Well, it's because I wasn't talking to her.
Yeah.
The thing was, Bolivita, we went to our sponsor, Coin Up. You know, we went over there. But he had his belt to take pictures with the owners.
Okay.
So he set his belt down. And some dude was like, and like fucking went to grab it. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? So I stopped him, like, don't fucking do that. Yeah. Then the girl thought I told the girl that. Because the girl was trying to like talk to him about
she got like, I got her take my friend.
So she got all weird and shit, and she's like, well, you shouldn't bring a belt if you don't want people. I was like, no, you can see it. I was like, so if you put your purse down and I grab it, it's cool? I was like, it's your purse. Like,
Yeah.
it's his belt. Like, you're not supposed to grab shit.
Yeah.
The guy was all apologizing. She fucking just throws a straw in my face. Wow. Spink. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this. Like, should I jump over this counter and like spin kick her or something? Like, like, what the fuck, man?
Spin kicker.
But that's like, you know, like that's the problem. Just because I feel a lot of people get away with shit like that. Like, I'm a girl, so I'm gonna fuck you, slap you, spit you.
Oh, no, I got a great story.
Like, you can't do type of shit like that. Like,
this wasn't. It wasn't in like a malicious way.
Let me just start off that way.
Let me start with that. We're friends, and then my friend Toya, you know Toya, or do you know Toya? Do you remember Toya, the little black Toya that would come to the gym every once in a while?
I think so. I remember.
Well, she works with me, and so she stopped by the gym, and I teach her some shit, like just basic stuff, you know, just hang out. And so one night, I was at work, I was getting off work, and then she was in there, and she's just getting a little drunk and everything. So she comes out, you know, it's last call. We have to clear our little corner, so I start clearing out the corner and like pushing everyone out, and then everyone's like, okay, go on. So it looks pretty dead, so I kind of relax for a second. Kind of drop my guard, I'm hanging out, like zoning out. What? And then out of nowhere, she gets in front of me, and she hits me. I can't be too mad, because it's a pretty badass combo. Like, but she like popped me in the head, and then popped me in the stomach, and then smacked me in the head, and then tried to run. I was like, but it was like hard because she's drunk, you know, so she didn't really know how hard she was doing it, and it made the hair on the back of her neck stand up. And without thinking, as soon as she turns and tries to run, I legit like stand up, and so she turns and I launch off the thing, and I'm throwing it and it took off at 100%. And in my head, I was like, that's gonna fuck her up. So I tried to slow it down, but I couldn't. Like, I hit her at least like. I want to say like 70%.
That's probably like 100 to her.
It was like, I hit her, fell straight to the ground, and then I felt so bad. It made it worse. There's like cops like standing right there, and I was like, oh no, like I'm gonna get in trouble, you know? Luckily, she gets up crying, laughing, just hysterically, and she didn't even remember. Like, she woke up the next day, people were like telling her what happened. I wish I would have went upstairs and like saw recorded the footage, because it had to be so funny. Like,
recording the footage, the games you do on people.
Everyone loves that video.
Have you ever seen this?
Have you seen it? Oh.
Tell us.
So, what you wanna try to beat my high score?
What is it?
It's a game. It's a clapping game. Just try to beat him. Okay. They're in the middle.
Okay.
Right here. Okay.
So it goes like this. So you have to hold your hands like this. And so the game is that you can't move your hands. All right, you can't move it. I have to clap, and I have to try to make it through your hands. Okay. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how you're counting. If I hit your hand, then it's out. Okay. You know. But I won't make it that easy. I'll make it like right here. So you're gonna be the one clapping. You have to keep your eyes closed.
I want to see what my range is at.
Yeah, go ahead. You can get a couple practice runs. And then when you're ready to go, you just close it.
Like this, right?
Yeah.
So bottom.
Do I have to go down with it? Or
up and down. Then count out loud. You have to beat. My high score is 20. I only got 20. Yeah.
Okay. Shoot, I'm scared.
Dude, don't cheat. Don't cheat. All right, go ahead. I was like, are you counting? So that's what I did. I did that one time at the bar, but it was so good because the girl was talking so much shit. Like, I was like, we'll get you a free drink and get you a free shot. Just come on in. You just have to beat my high score. And I made it 40 for her. I was like, yeah, you get the 40. And so she's going. She's just talking like, it's so easy. And her friend was there, and my boss Hanson was like grabbing the friend, like, go say anything.
That's what was funny for me.
Yeah. The best part, just kept grabbing her. And then people like walking past, like shaking their hand, like just like laughing behind her. And then finally, like it took like a while, and finally she opens her eyes and she got so pissed.
I was the one having a technique. I'm like, if I just tap my fingers,
No, man, that was great. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I can see her eyes trying to look at me. She saw you were there no more.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna start wrapping it up. These guys gotta go to work and stuff. So, thank you guys for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Plug in your guys' gyms and stuff. Let people know where you guys train at if they want to work out with you guys.
Yeah, I'm over at Undisputed downtown, 16th and K. Come on down. We do like day passes and stuff. If you guys want to try it out and see if you like it. Yeah.
Tinder.
Yeah, Tinder's my voice. Bumble. Yeah. Bumble.
He said Grindr.
Yeah. That's what Wednesdays, pal.
That's specific.
It is Wednesday. Never mind.
From this time to this time.
Alright, so shout out your gym.
Yeah, I'm at Art of 8 and then Team John X. My other gym is in Orange County. That's Team Legacy. That's for my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach. Yeah, and work for the UFC gym. So if you ever want to come down, class on me. So yeah.
Yeah, I work in this tiny little gym. I'm poor.
Yeah, you're Mexican, so it's no surprise.
I do landscaping on the side. I'm straight.
True Mexican.
I fix cars. Yeah. No, but I'm here at Citas Boxing. I want to thank Coinop, my lawyer Eric, Studio Be Well. Next door, we got all natural and organic products, teas, all that stuff. All type of crazy shit in the stores. Everything's organic, from body washes. Everything is local. We try to do stuff with local people.
Nice.
Yeah, man, if anybody wants to contact them or anybody wants to get on the podcast again, just hit me up. Just message us. And I want to thank you guys for coming. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a blast.
I
got a free honey bun and some
I
chips.
know.
Good.
All right, guys. Thanks, man.